What's up everyone, AdorierLegoStudios here, back here with another video, and guys, welcome to episode 4 of Building the Battle of Kamino in LEGO. So guys, I can't believe this is actually week 4 or episode 4, whichever one you guys want to call it, because that means like we've been doing this series for over a month now, and so that's really exciting to me because of the fact that we're kind of out of the beginning stages and kind of moving on as a series. So before I actually get on to everything else, I do want to give a huge thank you guys for getting me to 500 subscribers. For those of you who are new that did end up subscribing, thank you so much, and I can't thank you guys enough. This is really cool to actually say that I finally hit 500. My goal for the end of the year is to hit 1,000 subscribers. Hopefully it will end up coming true. I firmly believe we can do it, and I hope you guys will do your best to help as well. Again, I can't thank you guys enough. Okay, so getting off that topic, I do want to state that I did get a lot of progress done on Kamino this week. Speaking of which, that pillar right there is pretty much done, minus a couple tiling issues, or not really issues, but tiling areas that need to be finished. Last week episode I kind of mentioned that I was running low on them, and well, this week I kind of used the rest of what I had on hand. So I did end up purchasing some more parts, and I should have plenty of tiles once those orders get in. So that thing should be done by the next week's episode, as well as that third pillar right there. Yes, that's a third one. Should be completely done, or at least close to the point, because I kind of have to change a few things with that pillar, and I'll explain why in just a bit. But yeah, I guess the most of the work was kind of finishing that one, as well as starting that one, as well as I did get some water progress. But the reason why I wanted to start that one is because that's going to be the, I guess, the main capital building, or the main centerpiece, I guess you could call it. For those of you who don't know, this collaboration between Aidan and myself, we already made a plan out, and both of us, or at least both of our parts, are going to have like 2 capital buildings, basically, where it's going to have the interior as well as lights and stuff like that. And that's going to be mine. That's why I already started it, and that's why I'm going to be explaining why I kind of have to make it a little bit more structurally sound, as well as a few other things that I need to change. Other than that, I did get 2 time lapses this week, since I didn't end up making a live stream this week, which I was hoping to do, but I just didn't end up having the time to do so. I ended up time-lapsing me building 5 more battle packs, or building the figures from the 5 battle packs, as well as I got a lot more water studs put together. As you can see, it's kind of continuing on, and you'll be able to see a better look at that in just a moment. So, without me rambling, I think that's going to be it. Let's get into today's first episode of Building Kamino. Okay guys, so starting off today's video, I basically do what I usually do, where I show you guys the kind of overview of how the mock is coming along. And guys, I'm super excited and happy to show you guys what I got done this past week. Honestly, I got a ton of work done, including, you know, pretty much finishing that pillar off, starting up the third pillar, which wasn't even here a week ago, and as well as getting water done, as well as the troops. Now, I do want to ask, I hope you guys enjoyed the time lapses between the water studs as well as the building up the clone army. I hope you guys enjoy that. I did promise to get one out for this week. I did want to get a time lapse of building the pillar, but I kind of just lost track of time, and by the time I was like finishing up, Jay and I were just enjoying a conversation, so I just didn't end up time-lapsing it. So isn't that big a deal. You guys still got the water as well as the clone troopers. So starting off the video, basically going over the amount of troops that we got built. The troops we got built were these. I built 5 battle packs as per usual, so we got those army added. I did take out the clone troopers that were in the gunship. If you guys watched the most recent review on it, I did take those guys out and put them back on the base plate, and honestly, this army is looking fantastic. I can't wait to have all the figures built and kind of set up. I did calculate the amount of troops I still have to unbox is probably going to get to roughly around here, and that is just an insane amount of clones. I know it isn't the biggest army, but honestly, like, I'm really excited to get that amount of clones. As well as, like I said, I did get a lot of progress done on the water side of things. Like, this base plate is almost completely filled out. I am running low on studs. I'm still waiting on an order of studs to get in. But even so, I still got a lot of progress done on this. Like, most of the side wasn't even filled with water. So seeing this, like, this base plate almost fully complete is actually really exciting. And then this side of water I didn't really mess with. It was kind of just this area right here. But other than that, most of the progress for this week went towards that third pillar. If you guys remember in last week's episode, we just focused on these two, and that wasn't even a thing. It wasn't even showcase, or wasn't even prototyped on that one. This was completely gone. All that was there was kind of the markers I had that were basically saying, hey, this is where it's going to be. I did end up moving it just a little bit, just because of the fact that the way I had it would have really overlapped onto this one, and I really didn't want to mess with that, and I kind of just wanted the pillars to be on its own base plate. That way it makes it a lot easier on me for transporting this thing. So I did move this a few studs over, but honestly, you can't really tell a difference. But anywho, this thing is coming along really well. Again, it's just like these third pillar or columns. I keep calling them pillars, but they're columns. It's the same exact way. I did end up changing a few things that I did with this one and that one because of the fact that, like I showed in the instructions, basically, or not instructions, but how the layout of the map is going to be. This is going to be my capital building, or I guess my central pillar or area, basically, where I'm going to have the interior as well as the few other things like lights and scenes and stuff like that. That's going to be connected to that column right there. So the reason why I'm changing up a few things that I did with this one is because there's going to be a lot of weight to this one specific, because of the fact that it's going to have all those figures, all those giant buildings, because of the fact that this is going to be a lot bigger than the actual platforms that are going to be around the mock. So going with that, I have to make sure that this one's stronger than this one. Because of the fact that these are strong, these are actually really nicely stable, which is actually really exciting. And so after that one's done, if I built it like this, it'd be as strong as that one. But I need it to be a little bit stronger just so it can hold a lot more weight. Now, I figured out that even though I did add like extra lift arms into it to hold it steady, I probably am going to have to figure out a way to also hold support throughout the mock, because of the fact that the actual capital area is going to come out a decently far. It's probably going to come out to roughly right there where my hand was, and that's a lot of weight going towards the inside, and it's not even fully connected to the pillar or column. So basically what I'm thinking is having like these I guess skinnier beams or columns kind of just going around the sides of it, kind of make sure that it is floating stably. The idea would be like completely lined up with this side as well as with that side, etc., with that and those and that. So that's the idea. I think that'd probably be the best choice. I have come to a problem, and that problem being this wall right here in my room. And what I mean by that is, as you can see, this plate is kind of lifted up a little bit more because of the fact that it's kind of hitting the wall. And so what I'm trying to figure out how to do this is because of the fact that since the actual capital is going to be really wide, it's not gonna be able to do that with that wall being there. And so I have two ideas. One idea is put up my other table, which I kind of had to do eventually, and slide this stuff onto this table and kind of work from there, or move this table forward just a bit so I can actually work on that without it hitting the wall. So I'm thinking about going with that idea just because of the fact that it'll make it a lot easier, as well as I still have a limited space and I don't want to set up the next table and the base plates just yet because of the fact that that's going to take up more space, and I'm kind of just working with what I have currently. That way it makes it easier on me. So that's what I'm thinking. I'm probably just going to pull this table up forward just so I can actually work on that and not worry have any collisions with the wall or anything like that. So that was most of the work and progress that got done this week. With these two pillars, the only thing that really changed, or a couple things, if you guys want, I go back to last week's episode, I kind of showcased these kind of like rims around the thing. This is kind of like the underside of the platforms to give it that nice, I guess, circular, or not really circular, but like, I guess I'm going to probably call it circular. It's probably not the right word to go with. But basically give it that nice round end. And last week I had just plates on it. I ended up switching it out with the like 4x6 plate with the kind of tilish or like slick side right there. I can't remember the exact name for it, but I ended up switching them out with those to kind of give it that nicer look. Same with this side. Again, I think it just looks a lot nicer, and I'm probably going to keep with that way. That way the underside kind of looks a lot nicer and not completely plated off like originally. So honestly, that wasn't that big of a change. I kind of just like went through that the other night while I was building that. And the only other thing I added was to this one and this one. Basically, it's like these brick stilts, I guess you can call them. And what I mean by that is how I'm going to do the actual platform, or how Aidan and myself are going to be doing the platform. We're going to have these things kind of on the underside, and then we're going to have the I guess brick, or I guess the like brick floor, or the snot floor, because that's how we're planning on making the platforms and the bridges and stuff like that. It's going to be snot, because it's going to give it that really nice look. And so we have to figure out how we're going to make sure it's connected, as well as to line it up completely next to the rims of this thing. So I figured out the exact height it needs to be to actually have this connect right here, or at least the bricks that I need to have on the side connect to these areas right here, or at least to give that illusion that it's connected. And this is the right height. This will be the main thing that connects to it, and then these are kind of just supports that kind of have it lay flat. Same with on this side. I didn't get to actually building the beginnings of the platforms just yet because of the fact that I have plenty of bricks on hand, and that's my goal for next week. But I did end up purchasing a few more bricks. That way I can actually have a decent on hand, and I don't have to worry about running out. My goal for this next week is to actually get the platform started. At least a decent size, even if it's just one of them. I won't mind, because of the fact that I really want to get started on it. And I'm super excited to actually have these platforms built. We also need to figure out how to kind of do the rim around it, because there's some images where it looks like the rim is dark gray, as well as like the actual platform's light gray. Other pictures have it both dark gray, and I'm trying to figure out. Honestly, the best idea I've thought of so far is having like the rim around it. I guess the kind of barrier so people don't fall off is going to be dark gray, and then the actual platform, or the like snot road, or just snot bricks in general, be light gray. That way it's got that really nice dark gray liner, as well as this really nice light gray bridge and stuff like that. But yeah, that's my goal for next week. I really want to get these platforms built, because I really want to see them fully built, as well as if I do get at least one of these built, maybe I'll start prototyping how I'm going to do the bridge, because of the fact that that is going to be a big part, is the bridge that's going to connect to both. I'm really excited actually to get working on that, because that's going to be such a cool building, I guess, overall look of the thing. So I think that's going to be it. Let's get on to the outro of the video. Okay guys, so that was this week's episode of Building Kamino. What'd you guys think? Again, I feel like there was a lot of progress that got done with pretty much finishing up the second pillar or column, as well as starting up the third one, and honestly, as well as like continuation of the water and building up the clone army. I think there was a lot of progress that got done this week. I'm very happy with what got done this week, and I can't wait for to continue on with like the actual platforms, since those two pillars are pretty much done. I can kind of continue on with that, so it's not really pillars and columns, kind of just continuation. yeah, next week my goal again is going to be kind of starting, as well as like maybe if I can get the time to actually finish one of the platforms, as well as finishing off the third pillar or column. I keep calling them vice versa. I know that's going to annoy some people. It's annoyed myself as well. But the third column should be completely done by next week, as well as the second one should be completely tiled over. Like I said, I made a few orders that should be coming in the beginning of this next week, so that will be completely done. Again, I am very happy with the 2 time lapses that came out. Let me know what you guys think of those, as well as if you did enjoy, definitely smash that like button, as well as stay tuned for next week's episode, as well as future videos that are coming out. Let me know in the comment section below what you guys thought of this week's episode, and if you're new to this channel, definitely subscribe. Again, my goal is to hit 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. I know it's a huge goal, but I think we can do it, and I'm super excited if we can do it. Again, I want a huge thank you guys for getting me to 500 subscribers. I really can't thank you guys enough, and I think that's gonna be it. Hope you all enjoyed, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.